In today's Final Touch, a dangerous and breathtaking undertaking at Paris's picturesque Montmartre Hill.
A tightrope walker amazed the crowd below. With heads tilted into the sky, hundreds of spectators watched as Bonganga walked on a rope suspended steps toward the Sacré-Cœur Basilica. Many below found the show nerve-wracking as Bonganga completed the performance with no security cable attached to her costume. Walking on a tightrope since the age of 8, Bonganga says the experience was magical, this being her first time performing in front of a world-renowned monument.
That's incredible. I don't know how she does that.
That's our time for now. Thanks for 5 starts right now.
Officials have turned over the scene of the fatal explosion to the city's building inspector in Sun Prairie. We'll have an update from downtown Sun Prairie.
And how proposed tariffs on imported vehicles and auto parts could hit your wallet the next time you go to a dealership.
This is News 3 at 5.
Thanks for staying with News 3. The future of a controversial Confederate monument is back up for debate.
The monument has been inside the Forest Hill Cemetery for more than 100 years. Our Kelly Arthur is live at the City County building where city leaders are deciding if it should come down. Kelly?
Well, in just an hour or two, a more than year-long debate could finally be settled. You might remember back in April, the Madison City Council voted to have those Confederate monuments removed. Well, it's up to the Landmarks Commission to make that final decision. We're talking about the landmarks inside the Forest Hill Cemetery that lists the names of 140 Confederate soldiers. Now, those in favor of the removal say the monuments glorify slavery during the Civil War. Those against removing the statues say it's trying to erase history. And we're going to go inside that meeting live on News 3 at 6. The meeting started just minutes ago. We will bring you the decision on News 3 at 10 and, of course, on channel3000.com. Back to you.
All right, we'll see you at 6. Thank you, Kelly.
Sun Prairie Police and the State Fire Marshal's office are still investigating what caused the deadly natural gas explosion almost 2 weeks ago now.
Police tell us investigators are finished collecting evidence in the area closest to the site of the explosion. Our Rose Schmidt has spent the day in Sun Prairie and is live there now to show us the area that still is not accessible to the public. Rose?
That's right. Well, city officials tell us that there are still significant safety concerns in the area behind that fence. So as for now, the area is still going to be closed off to the public, and it's going to stay that way until they know for sure that it is safe. Now, today, cleanup crews were on the scene, and they were cleaning up debris and broken glass from the explosion site. The fenced-in area became smaller after several buildings were deemed structurally sound. One of those is the Pit Stop Pub. The owner says he's hoping to open up as soon as possible, but there are still a lot of things that he needs to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage that you can't see, a lot of cracks and stuff that all have to be repaired. And I don't have a timeline because no one really knows what they're going to find else that's wrong.
Jeff calls this the epitome of the neighborhood bar and says his customers are like family. His roof has to be replaced, but he says he's got good contractors working to assess and begin to repair what's broken. We'll hear more from him on News 3 at 6. Now, this entire scene has been turned over to the city's building inspector and public works director, and we saw the building inspector on the scene today. There are several business owners in the area here behind this fence that are still waiting to hear from him what their next steps are going to be. Back to you.
Rose Schmidt live in Sun Prairie. Rose, thank you.
Police are investigating after a fatal one-vehicle crash happened in Juneau County. The sheriff's office there says a call came in for a one-vehicle crash. This was at the intersection of County Highway HH and State Highway 82 early yesterday, just before 7 in the morning. Deputies say sometime during the night, the vehicle had failed to stop at the stop sign on Highway 82. That vehicle then left the roadway, hit a tree. Officials say the driver, an 18-year-old man from Reedsburg, was pronounced dead at the scene.
A car collided with a West Madison cake store today, causing significant damage. A Subaru Outback ran through the Vanilla Beans storefront at about 11:30 this morning. One of the store's employees had just finished up with a customer and left the counter when the crash happened.
As I was going back, all of a sudden I heard the big bang, and I thought maybe somebody was shooting, and I kind of ducked and came up around the corner, and everything was flying, and it was a car.
Crews were able to remove the vehicle from the site, but officials say the crash may have caused structural damage to the building. A manager at the Vanilla Bean said the business will be closed until they know that it's safe. A 43-year-old man was arrested Saturday night after inappropriately grabbing a Capitol Center Market employee and threatening to kill her colleagues. Police say Johnny Pigram of Madison was arrested after assaulting a 24-year-old female while she was helping a customer at the checkout counter. Before police arrived, employees tried to escort Pigram out of the store, and he threatened to kill them, police said. Pigram also threatened to kill the responding officers. Police say he was intoxicated, taken to the Dane County Jail, and he could face multiple charges, including fourth-degree sexual assault.
Well, pretty nice start to the work week. Let's look at the first alert weather as we head for the look ahead of the rest of the week with meteorologist Dave Caulfield. Dave?
Eric, plenty of sunshine today, although some clouds have tried to build in over the past couple of hours. Visible cloud track, especially closer to Lake Michigan. We did see some more cloud cover today, but basically just some fair weather cumulus clouds have been forming over the past couple of hours for much of southern Wisconsin. Doppler track is pretty quiet. Some light showers trying to form into northeastern Illinois, but not for us, not for a couple of days. A live look in Madison, we could still see those cumulus clouds. It does look hazy as well with the humidity still in town. Temperatures down to 82, north-northwest wind at 6 miles per hour. That dew point in the mid-60s. Temperatures are in the low to mid-80s, even some 70s starting to show up closer to Juneau and Watertown as temperatures begin to tumble for the evening. Dew points are still pretty humid in spots. Getting better, though, in the mid-60s for many of us. Wind speeds out of the north and west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour as we head into this evening. Partly cloudy, still humid with temperatures falling through the 80s into the low 70s. We'll talk more about this textbook summer weather on the way, plus the chances that we could possibly see the northern lights tonight in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Dave. Products made in the United States are taking the spotlight at the White House today. President Trump invited manufacturers from all 50 states to show off their goods at his Made in America showcase as the administration prepares to enter trade wars on several fronts. From baseball bats to boats to cowboy hats, moon pies, and military jets. Manufacturers came to show off their goods and reaffirm their commitment to keep their products made in the USA.
The more we make things in America, the stronger America becomes. That's why we will always live by two crucial rules: buy American and hire American.
Maintaining your vehicle can cost a pretty penny, and in the coming months, it might get even more expensive.
Tariffs on auto imports could raise prices by nearly $7,000 for some makes and models, or even just parts for cars made right here in the United States. Our Jamie Perez spoke with the folks at Smart Toyota this afternoon to get their thoughts on how it could affect you and also affect their business. Jamie?
Whether you're buying a car or just buying car parts, this can and will affect you in the coming months if those tariffs are implemented. Auto dealerships are even offering pre-tariff sales, telling customers to buy now.
Day 2 is good to go.
We've all been there.
Lights are good in the front.
Getting your car maintenance can be heavy on the wallet.
Oh, that's good.
With the possibility of tariffs on car imports in the coming days, it could raise prices quite a bit.
Certainly it's going to affect our customers, though, and all Americans in general.
Rob knows. He's hoping the tariffs don't actually get implemented. In fact, the tariff on imported vehicle parts would increase the cost by nearly $1,800 for some cars, even cars that are made right here on U.S. soil.
That's good.
For example,
The Camry, which is historically known as one of the most American-made vehicles on the planet, is still 20 to 30% foreign parts. So even though that vehicle is made here in the United States, the cost of building that vehicle is going to rise if these tariffs are put in place.
whether you're buying a new car or a new car part.
In the end, if these tariffs stay in place, eventually, no matter what measures we take, it's going to end up affecting our customers.
And last year, 44% of all U.S. car sales were from imported vehicles. That's according to a report by CBS News. The proposed 25% tariff will affect not just car customers, but dealerships as well, further impacting our economy. Now, it might be another couple of months before the Department of Commerce will decide on whether or not to enforce these proposed tariffs.
All right, Jamie Perez in our news center. Jamie, thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Bad news for Brewers fans as the team places left-handed pitcher Brent Suter on the disabled list with a torn ligament in his arm. Suter will likely require Tommy John surgery, which would end his 2018 season. The 28-year-old Suter is 8-7 on the year. Suter had been dealing with a forearm injury for most of the season, and it appears the injury is connected to that. The Brewers have recalled right-handed pitcher Jorge Lopez from the AAA Colorado Springs Sky Sox.
There will also be 2 new members of the Madison Common Council in the next few weeks after 2 longtime alders announced they will be stepping down. Former Council President Denise DeMarb resigned last month. The longtime alder Mark Clear also leaving this summer. Tonight, the Council Executive Committee will be interviewing the 6 applicants for the outgoing District 19 position, which is Clear's spot. They'll narrow the field, make a recommendation to the Council sometime before August 7th. That's when the next alder will be sworn in before the Council.
It is unusual to have 2 council members leave within the space of a month. And obviously her decision and my decision have nothing to do with one another. It's just a coincidence. But it's a lot of institutional knowledge that's walking out the door. And it's tough for someone to come into that role on an appointment and serve for only a few months.
Mark Clear's last day is officially August 7th after his replacement is sworn in at the City County building.
Keeping Dane County's waterways clean is a big task, but a project today in Middleton shows that art can make an environmental impact. Local students have been helping to complete a storm drain mural in downtown Middleton. Organizers say that people don't know water that goes into the storm drains goes straight to our streams and lakes. They hope these murals can help spread the word.
So it's swirling water with fish, beautiful colors that should kind of draw just a passerby in to just look at the mural and then hopefully educate them a little bit too.
This is one of 20 planned storm drain murals, which will be painted on other drains in highly visible areas across the county.
More to come tonight on News 3 at 5. Up next, 2 investigations are now underway in Missouri after the duck boat incident that claimed 17 lives last week.
Plus, why Olympic gold medalist swimmer Ryan Lochte has been suspended from swimming for a full year.
And stocks mostly higher to open the week, but the Dow did close down some 13 points. The NASDAQ up almost 22 points. The S&P 500 added 5. We'll be right back. Crews retrieved the capsized duck boat from the bottom of a Missouri lake.
The Coast Guard hoisted a waterlogged duck boat from 80 feet of water at Table Rock Lake in Branson, Missouri. State Highway Patrol divers photographed the vessel underwater before bringing it to the surface.
They attached a rig sling system to the duck. Upon vessel breaking the surface, they dewatered it.
17 people died when the craft capsized in a thunderstorm Thursday. The NTSB is now looking into what the captain knew about the weather before he faced 73-mile-per-hour wind gusts and 6-foot waves with 30 passengers aboard. The Missouri Highway Patrol is also conducting its own investigation.
A law enforcement official has told CBS News a shooting in Toronto Sunday night that left 3 people dead does not appear to be related to terrorism. Police say the 29-year-old man shot 15 people. He exchanged gunfire with police and was either shot by officers or took his own life. 2 of his victims died, an 18-year-old woman, a 10-year-old girl. Both are from the Toronto area. Police are still investigating a possible motive.
It was a rapid fire and then maybe a pause and some more fire. We didn't know what it was. We saw people starting to run in our direction. I didn't see any victims. A woman that was with us said that she saw 5 bodies on the ground.
A surgeon at a Toronto hospital says 3 of the victims who were injured underwent immediate operations to save their lives. 13 people remain hospitalized, ranging from 10 to 59 years old.
President Trump forcefully responded to the president of Iran, who warned that war with Iran is, quote, the mother of all wars. Sunday, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani threatened President Trump, saying, don't play with the lion's tail. This would only lead to regret. President Trump fired back. We are no longer a country that will stand for your demented words of violence and death. Be cautious. President Trump has taken a hard line with Iran since taking office. He pulled America out of the Iran nuclear deal back in May, and the U.S. will reimpose oil and banking sanctions against Iran next month.
Swimmer Ryan Lochte has been suspended until July of 2019 by the U.S. anti-doping agency. The 12-time Olympic medalist has been sanctioned for getting an intravenous infusion, a method that broke anti-doping rules. U.S. officials say Lochte was not using a banned substance, but under anti-doping rules, athletes typically cannot receive IVs unless related to a hospitalization or through some sort of exemption. Lochte posted a photo of himself getting the IV in May. That prompted the investigation. He was entered in 4 events at the national championships that start Wednesday in California.
Let's head out to the weather patio. It is a nice evening outside. Dave Caulfield is watching the weather. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Susan and Eric. Yeah, a little bit humid out here, but this is pretty textbook summer weather. This is what you would expect when we talk about late July weather across southern Wisconsin. Visible cloud track showing a lot of sunshine today, but over the last couple of hours, a couple more clouds, maybe some fair weather cumulus clouds, and also some higher cirrus clouds have come in. So some of us, it actually may look like mostly cloudy, but I still think a fair amount of sunshine is in store for the next couple of hours. Doppler track is showing pretty quiet conditions across much of the Midwest. It won't stay that way for very long, so while we can get this sunshine, let's enjoy it because more unsettled weather does arrive as we head into the second half of this week. A couple of showers trying to pop up closer to northeastern Illinois, but I don't think a lot of that is actually hitting the ground. So our time lapse in Madison on the Edgewater Skycam, plenty of sunshine. You see those clouds building in during the afternoon. A little bit hazy outside as well with that humidity. Here's what downtown Madison looks like right now on the Edgewater Skycam. The high to wow, let me try that one more time. Take 2 and action. 83 degrees the high today, so a little bit above normal for this time of year. And I think we'll be pretty close to normal over the next couple of days in temperature land. And we really want these clouds to clear out because we do have a chance of seeing the aurora borealis or the northern lights tonight. Now, chances are much better closer to the north woods, but best viewing is going to be 9 p.m. to about 2 a.m. and a few clouds tonight. We should be able to look north and hopefully, just hopefully, see something. Remember to get away from city lights, look north, and hopefully the moon doesn't obstruct anything either over the next couple of hours. So we'll be hoping. At least is worth a try, right? That's what I always say. Temperatures right now in the 80s for the most part, but a couple of 70s starting to show up closer to Juneau and Watertown. Dew points generally are in the mid 60s, but a couple more humid spots in other areas as well. Wind speeds generally out of the north and west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. That wind a lot less than over the weekend. High temperature trend over the next couple of days will be in the 80s, but then the unsettled weather returns, and that means temperatures back into the 70s for Thursday, Friday, and for Saturday before we get back close to 80 degrees for Sunday and Monday. So future track, here is what is going on. High pressure, not very long for us, but we do see a cold front come through. It really shouldn't affect our temperatures that much or bring us any rain. It's just kind of coming through. So we're like, all right, come on through, I guess. High pressure will be with us at least to our south for much of Tuesday and Wednesday. Then we do get some low pressure to come in Wednesday into Thursday. That's when our storm chances start to go up once again. Tonight, partly cloudy, mild and muggy with temperatures in the 60s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, warm and humid with highs in the mid 80s. So it's worth a try to see if we do see any of the northern lights tonight. Hopefully we get those clouds out of here that have built in during the afternoon. I think we will. So let's try it. Remember, 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. the best times to see that. Into Tuesday and Wednesday should be rain free, but then later on Wednesday, that's when our storm chances start to go up once again. A quick look at your 7-day forecast showing things still in the 70s by the time we get into the middle of this week, and really unsettled weather with us for much of that 10-day forecast, including into the weekend with some slight chances for showers and storms. Better chances arrive on Sunday and Monday with temperatures near 80. Now let's take a look at your first alert traffic update. Todd Drive in the Beltline, not looking too bad, but a little bit slow go in both directions. That accident on US 14 has been cleared, so that's good news. It was at McCoy Road over the last couple of minutes, but we are still seeing those slowdowns on the Beltline from east to west. Not looking too bad close to the interstate and Stoughton Road, but you see those normal slowdowns closer to John Nolan Drive and Park Street. Verona Road to John Nolan Drive, that's 16 minutes with an average speed of around 16 miles per hour. John Nolan to the interstate is a little bit slow eastbound with an average speed of around 35 miles per hour. In the other direction, in that same stretch, a little bit slow, average speed of around 40 miles per hour, and that's a 6-minute journey. And that is your first alert forecast. I'm keeping my fingers crossed as far as the northern lights tonight. It's going to be tough. I mean, you definitely want to head a little bit farther north if you can tonight, but we'll hold out hope. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Be worth it. Be worth it to make the effort.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dave.
Still ahead on News 3 at 5, Homeland Security warning online shoppers when it comes to making purchases. We'll tell you why this time when we come back. U.S. Customs and Border Protection seized a record number of counterfeit goods last year.
The items that get through are often sold on popular websites, and in some cases the goods are not only fake, they can also be dangerous. Susan Keppen explains.
Federal investigators say counterfeit goods are flowing into the United States through some of the biggest e-commerce websites. In a recent investigation, the Government Accountability Office purchased dozens of items from third-party sellers on those sites. 20 out of 47 items were found to be counterfeit. Take a look at this Urban Decay makeup. The real thing is on the left, the fake is on the right.
Is it sort of a crapshoot if you're buying this stuff?
Absolutely. The consumer's at risk, and that's why we say buyer beware.
Special Agent in charge David Abbott is with Homeland Security Investigations. He showed us plenty of confiscated counterfeit goods, many of them items that can harm or even kill you. A fake surge protector, counterfeit brake pads, fake airbags, even a knockoff overhead sprinkler.
Our biggest concern we're seeing is the illicit pharmaceuticals coming in.
Everything from Viagra, the bottle on the left is fake, the one on the right is real, to cancer drugs and painkillers.
It's coming in, it's usually coming from China. It may or may not be what the consumer thinks they're purchasing. And obviously, if you're ingesting something that you don't know what it is or it's against a doctor's order, it could be very harmful.
Companies like Apple have sued third-party sellers for hawking counterfeit goods. And those e-commerce sites listed in the government report say they have a zero-tolerance policy for counterfeits.
If it looks too good to be true, it probably is.
Susan Kopen for CBS News, Pittsburgh.
And we'll have another check of your forecast when we return. Good polar bear weather.
Tonight on the CBS Evening News, more on multiple heat waves just settling in across the country as a very busy and potentially dangerous weather week gets going. Why the White House is threatening to revoke the security clearances of ex-intelligence chiefs, and dream of flying around like Iron Man? Now you can. Those stories and more tonight on the CBS Evening News.
He wants to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
It looks really fun. Yeah, I mean, with this weather, really a lot of things are fun. It is a little bit humid outside. It will be a little humid tomorrow as well, but plenty of sunshine and temperatures in the low to mid 80s, and we're in the 70s by the second half of this week.
All right, we'll be back in 30 minutes with News 3 at 6, and the CBS Evening News is coming away next. Stay tuned.